welcome back to another episode of Q Reviews. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. I get to talk about Jason Voorhees and my favorite slasher movie of all time, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. Yo, 1984, I was actually 8 years old. 8 years old. And I had the previous Friday the 13th Part 3 that I watched the 3D one for a while. And I had Part 1 not seen a couple times, but that Part 3 was starting to get something special to me. When I seen that hockey mask and the great Richard walked away on that dock after he shot the girl in the eye with a harpoon on and walked away with that weird fucking mongoloid walk, like, who the fuck is this guy? You know? This guy is kind of creepy. And that's where my love for Jason begun. And then I got Part 4. We went to the video store. It was like back in the day, kids, you used to go to this place and there used to be movies on the wall and you can take them off. And then you see the beautiful cover art. It was like the final chapter of Jason. It had fucking Jason's mask there with a knife in it. It's like, oh shit, they gonna fucking kill Jason? You know, at this time, of course, they not gonna kill Jason. Now we know. But back then, it was something like, in all, like they're gonna fucking kill Jason. I mean, I gotta see this movie. And I went, it was out, and then one day it was in, and I got my 2 VCRs, taped the shit out of it, watched it over and over again, and over again. Let me get into my love for this film. Well, the film is, you basically know, it basically takes place on like a Sunday, actually. So it's 3 days after Friday the 13th. So all these movies are in sequential order. So this takes place right up after Part 3 when Jason gets hung. He's going to the morgue, and this is this awesome montage of this doctor here. He has Jason's corpse in his back, and he's watching this crazy aerobics video with girls bootying, jumping up and down. I'm 8 years old, and I'm watching this. I'm not quite knowing what I'm seeing, but you know, down there starts to be like, hey, something going on there. But you know, I was enjoying that, and then the tension starts right at the beginning of this film. You know, because we know Jason's gonna come back. It's just a matter of when. So they let you sit with that shit for a minute, you know what I'm saying? For a couple scenes before he come back, and you know, his hand falls, so the tension and that music, yeah, the plot, yeah, pretty simple. The kids go back to Camp Crystal Lake, even though like the day before a bunch of kids got murdered. So what? They go back and Jason's back to kill every last one of them. You know, same film you've seen, you know what I'm saying, the last 2 movies. But this one's a little bit different because the characters here are really good. Some people that you really are rooting for. I would say this movie is a coming of age story, or kind of a romantic comedy, but it's one huge factor in the middle of it. That is Jason Voorhees. And Jason Voorhees, there's nothing funny at all about this character. This character was played by Ted White, the great Ted White, still alive to this day in his 90s, still around kicking. But he played the character so menacing, so terrifying that, you know what I'm saying, like, how do you emote all of this when you got a mask on? But he had an overbearing, brooding presence that, you know, that he would stop at nothing to make these people's lives end. And that's why I love Ted White. They shot him in the dark, and then you'll just see the mask sometimes come to the light, and you know what I'm saying, just his long, lanky arms and his physicality. On the set, he stayed away from the actors, the young actors on the movies, so he didn't want him to get used to the actors, to get used to Jason. So he only appeared when he needed to appear, and you can tell they were actually scared from the fear of their eyes when they seen Jason. And that scene where, you know, you see our boy Tommy Jarvis, I didn't get to him yet, but Tommy Jarvis is in the scene, and Jason pops through a window and grabs him, and that look on Corey Feldman's face is true terror, because they didn't tell Corey Feldman that was gonna happen. That just fucking happened there, like spontaneously filmmaking. While I say this is the greatest slasher of all time, because it's in the true and sense and meaning of what a slasher is. What I mean by that, this movie just straight up slashes for the 90-minute runtime that it gets, you know? Every kill is brutal, it's gory, and it looks very fucking painful. You ever got shot in the dick by a spear gun? You ever had your shit pushed in while you're soaping up in the shower? Just after he got some, he feeling like he on top of the world. I think I love you. Well, what? I think you're fucking dead. And Jason mushed this shit in, son. Mushed this shit into the shower. He's slipping around. Just something very uncomfortable. Just being slipping around in a puddle of blood. Just shit going all the way back in Jason's face. Little throwback to Psycho, may I add. And let's go to Tommy Jarvis. This is the first film of the great Tommy Jarvis trilogy, because it's 4, 5, 6 where we get Tommy Jarvis here. And this is Tommy Jarvis played by the great Corey Feldman. Yes, go for it. Corey Feldman's on top of the world at this point. He just did Goonies. But you know what? Believe it or not, I've never seen Goonies. So I really know Corey Feldman starting off really from Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. True story. So Corey Feldman is the shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm 8 years old, so I'm watching this kid. He's got an Atari. He got his mask on. You know what I'm saying? All his collectibles, Shot So collectibles. Little did we know that Tommy Jarvis will be the future cool guys where everybody look up to. Now look at us, you know what I'm saying? We all got our home super consoles as grown men. We all got our sideshow collectibles, and things like that, and making YouTube videos. Tommy was way ahead of the game. Smart kid here. I think Corey Feldman did an excellent job starring as Tommy Jarvis. And how can we forget Kristen Glover's George McFly at the time? I think this is right around the same time, or a year later he did Back to the Future. How can you forget the great dance of Kristen Glover, you know?
It's good. Oh, good.
Don't ask me to stay. Don't think you got it made. No, you're wrong. 'Cause you can't make it anymore. I know what you're waiting for. I should turn away and walk right out that door because I know.
Hey, how come you turned that off?
And he was so into it. I was like, oh, the cameraman like, yeah, just film Kristen Glover dance. I seen this. Wait till you really see this shit. This shit is crazy. It's my favorite dance in a movie of all time. Maybe slightly by Troll 2. If you want to see that video, check out my top 5 greatest horror movie dances of all time. It's also great in this Friday the 13th film. They had a good way of capturing the camp and capturing like really moody, atmospheric rain and things like that you feel claustrophobic, that you're here with this killer shark that is Jason Voorhees, and he's lurking in the background. Even though we're trying to go into these stories, their stories are not that bad in this Friday the 13th movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of into what's going on with them, and as you see them get knocked off one by one, you just kind of feel sorry. You kind of feel sorry for them, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, get him, Jason, get him, Jason. I mean, I'm at 8. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of that, this is the greatest kill of any horror movie icon. Any horror movie icon. Friday 13th Part 4, when they just decided to really kill Jason. Tommy comes down, he shaves his head because he got the news article of Jason, and so he's using his wits here. Maybe I can catch him off guard, during this third act, which is fucking banana shit crazy, because Jason's in the house at this point, chasing her all around the house. He gets, and I love to see my main villains take pain. So, he gets the back of a hammer in his neck, split down, the middle, with a knife. Jason was getting fucked up in this movie, and then it's time to finish Jason off. How do you stop one of the most iconic killers at all time at this point? Tommy Jarvis come down after shaving his head, and maybe he can slow Jason down for a bit. So he yells at him, Jason! Jason turns around, looks at Tommy a little bit with the weird look, like, oh shit, Yo, that motherfucker got the same lineup like me, son. It's all fucked up. Your shit fucked up like me. You like me? Are you like me? You are like me. What'd I do? And then as soon as he turns around, he gets a machete to the side of the mask. Boom! Shit, mask flies out. We like, oh shit, son. We are about to see Jason's face for real this time. I mean, we seen a little bit in 3, but we ain't really seen Jason's face till now, you know. He turns around, this mongoloid, steal from the scar from part 3, bleeding, looking crazy as fuck. The real thing is that Ted White actually looks like that makeup. If you ever see the real Ted White, you know, he's not as ugly as that, but he kind of looks like him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Well, we had seen Jason's face for the first time. It's slow. I'm in shock, like, oh shit, is that Jason's face I'm looking at right now? I can't believe what's going on. What's gonna happen now? We see Jason's face, and then, you know, side of the head, Tommy gets him, boom, with the machete in the side of the eye, and then he falls on the machete slow. This motherfucking eye, he falls on the knife slow. His medulla oblongata, all that shit in the back of his head just poured out on the floor. You just seen it in camera. Like, what the fuck is this? I'm 8 years old, and I'm like, oh shit. It was like one of those things that all the family got around. We had to see Jason die. Like, what the fuck is that? At that time, that type of special effect had never really been done. Shout out to Savini, by the way. I think this is some of his best work. I think this is probably like his second best work. His masterpiece though is Dawn of the Dead, which I think came out in 1986. That's just masterful work. If you go look at the practical effects in that film now, it still stands up to this day. Some of the best zombie effects till his protege Greg Nicotero took on the mantle and made The Walking Dead. But man, at that time, that still is the greatest kill of any horror icon I have ever seen. Ever. And then he just die. You know, a fade to that white. And then, you know, the film is basically, it could have been over right there for me. I wish it was just over there. You know, I just wish that would have been it. Of course, they, you know, try to set it up for the sequel. And of course, we know this in the final chapter because there's many more iterations after that one. But to me, man, this is my 1984 film. Nightmare on Elm Street will come out the same year. Believe it or not, this film cost $1 million to make, went on to make $32 million. And oh boy, your boy from Sisker and Ebert, if kids remember that, oh, he hated this fucking movie. He was just like, there's no hope for the future, you know, because you're gonna get stabbed and die. Well, yeah, life's a bitch, ain't it? Especially when you fucking with Voorhees. And I you know, he was just our hero, man. Jason Voorhees was our hero as our horror film goes. You know, he was like Iron Man or something like that. He didn't have to be good. He was an anti-hero. He was a villain, but we rooted for him in these films, and it was great, you know, because I used to bring like girls or something over, like, watch this part here, and like freak them out and shit, you know. I shouldn't have did that, because, you know, you never got a kiss until I was much older, when I stopped showing them shit like that though. But to me it was exciting and shit, like, yo, check this out. And that's why Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, is my favorite slasher of all time. I actually seen Halloween 1 after this film. And I remember watching Halloween 1, and it was a pretty good film, Starkwish, well directed, but I felt bored because them kills wasn't there. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a Carnage Candy type of guy. Maybe I need to see people getting fucked up. Ted, where's the corkscrew? You know?
Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
That type of shit. These kills are legendary, and they'll be in legendary horror movie slasher history. This is the quintessential slasher movie. So when you see American Horror Story and all these other copycats trying to copy off the game of what a slasher truly is, this is it right here. Friday the 13th. Part 4, the final chapter, gets a straight up 5 out of 5 for me. The music's great, atmosphere is great. Ted White did his thing as Jason Voorhees times Savini special effects. Man, and some pretty good characters. Kristen Glover, Teddy, you know, the twins, you know. It's just everything like a slasher, a late night Saturday movie can be, that you can, you know, go to the drive-in and go. a late 9 o'clock movie and have a girl jump into your lap because she's scared, you know, and that's why I love this film. It picks something up in it, the adrenaline. It makes our heart pump, and I don't have to think too much about it. It's the same shit, but it's done effectively. It doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's the same movie over and over again. Who cares if it's done right? You know, that's all it's about. You know, all these movies have been done over and over again. All your favorite movies are the same three plot: girl meets girl, boy meets girl, girls loses girl, and they get back together. Same three story plot arc every movie is built on. You know, it's just people choose different ways to do it, and that's why I say Friday the 13th. It knew what it was. It didn't go for camp. It went for horror. It truly went for horror, and they went at all the points that I think it is the quintessential slasher of all time. Well, anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this Friday the 13th video. You can see I'm a little biased towards Friday the 13th. Yo, what's your favorite Friday the 13th movie, if you have even seen any? Do you like Jason versus Freddy? Do you like Jason X? Let me know in the comments below, and if you really like this content, consider subscribing to the channel. Horror's my big thing. I just don't talk about it too much, but at 8 years old, this was one of my favorite slasher films of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't just stare at it, eat it.